was working on this Zenith radio when I got a email from a viewer that said, "What is that blue thing?" And that was a video that I had done and uploaded last week. So let's take a look and see if we can answer his question. I was removing the header connector off of this amp, and I needed to remove the solder. And this is what he was talking about. Well, I went back and took a look at the video, and the portion that he was talking about was this unit right here, a solder pullet. The particular unit that I have here is a solder pullet 3. I believe that this model is no longer made, but you can still find them on the internet. Probably most technicians today have a rework station, which is a soldering iron and a vacuum pump to remove the solder from the circuit board. In order to use it, you press the plunger in and it locks a spring-loaded unit inside, and you have a button here to release it. On the front you have a nozzle that forms a vacuum when this button is released and the plunger comes back up. So if we heat this connection up here, you can see that the solder's been removed off of that. In order to clear out the solder, you press and the solder is ejected. Internally, you can clean this out. And this is the inside. If you pull this apart, you can see we have a tube. We have the plunger, the spring, the button, periodically this O-ring that's here, if you put a little bit of light lube onto it, it will help with the vacuum. Now, in conjunction with the solder pullet, I'll also use solder wick. Solder wick is a braid, it's a copper braid, that has been permeated with solder paste. Now what I do, I normally will heat up the joint and then put the solder wick up next to it. And the solder will flow from the tip to where the soldering iron is at. And all you do is you cut it off and go again. Now my first solder removal tool I had was a bulb. And what it did was it just sucked up the solder in the bulb. And you did that until the solder was removed. I then purchased an Indeco Model 500 solder bulb removal tool. And what that does is it's a soldering iron with a bulb attached to it. Now you can see that this is in fairly good shape. It's because when I used it, it didn't work very well. So it went back into the case. It looks like I'm missing two tips here. I have the original paperwork. Model 500. And the instructions on how to use it. So those are the three items that I have for removing solder. The last one is the tap method, and it's really for stubborn joints. If you heat up an area and then tap it, and you can see that that area is somewhat clean. It's not a very good method. Solder goes everywhere, but it does work. In the future, when I've won the $1 million of the lottery, maybe I'll buy a rework station and get rid of all this stuff. I hope that answers your question. If you found this video useful or entertaining, please subscribe. Give me a thumbs up and don't forget to click on the bell icon to be notified of upcoming videos. Stay safe, stay healthy, and thanks for watching.